Well, good morning, Glue Troopers. I had someone in the comment section a few days ago, say something to the effect of, something about me slurping on my coffee. Must have been their first time to this channel, huh? They mentioned my coughing too. For those who didn't know, this genuinely is either my first or second cup of coffee of the day when I do this, and you are getting, we could rename the show Max's Models Au Natural. Yum, yum, yum. So, you might be in the model building when, as I did this morning, you are making your coffee and you go, oh, look, we're out of paper towels. New rocket. So, that got me to thinking, and as I've said several times before, I really have no idea what I'm going to talk about when I start these things. Sometimes I don't even close the door. This morning I got up, made the coffee, saw we had paper towels, and the wife's like, oh, we need to put paper towels. I go, whoo, new rocket. And I'm like, how modelers think. Oh, throw away that stuffing. Wait a minute. That's rocket wadding. Throw away, you get a new electronic device. Oh, let's throw away that styrofoam. Woohoo, hold on a minute. I can use that in a diorama. That could be a futuristic building or go under some paper mache for a hill or whatever. And, and of course everybody, anytime that you get something that's got the clear plastic, blown plastic cover for something whoa, you have any idea what I could use that for? I could reform that into a canopy or make a window for something or a dome for something. Yeah, especially the curved pieces. Years ago, you guys have seen the picture of me wearing the mask, which is, it's around here somewhere. Anyway, so the big face shield, by the way, that was all before the current world situation. I got that ostensibly for doing painting and stuff, but at the time I had a fascination with making movie prop space helmets and spacesuits, and I actually made for my nephew years ago a complete astronaut suit. And I'd gone online and seen some ways to make El Cheapo, like B-movie sci-fi astronaut suits. I don't know if you can still find them. I grabbed a couple of them for like $4 or $5 a piece, but they're those white painter's coveralls that are super cheap and real thin. They're made for one use and throw away. And I wound up grabbing a few of them because I don't know if they make them anymore. So for like $5, I got one of those sets of painter's coveralls, and I wish I still had the pictures. They're probably buried somewhere. If I can find one, I will. But anyway, and there was some cardboard boxes laying around, and I bought some cheap, what looked like beta cloth. It was just some cheap cloth over at like Joann's, and I made a chest pack for him, and I spray painted some work gloves and took the rubber gloves tips off to give the blue fingertips and cut them off, put them on there, and I made him a helmet out of old pizza boxes. And there's several places online you can go see how to do that. A lot of guys make like halo helmets for their kids. And I made a complete astronaut suit for $20, $25, including the paint. And after that, I had this fascination because I always want to make an independent film. I actually written a script for it. And I actually got one Hollywood type to actually look at it. He goes, hey, well written, you do your stuff. I was like, hey, because I like to make kind of science-based sci-fi. Anyway, so that mask you see me wearing, it was like $12 or someplace at Harbor Freight or something. It's obviously just cheap plastic, but when I saw that, I went and got it, and I'm like, I use it for painting. My wife, who is smarter than I am, and I cannot fool, I don't even know why I tried. She goes, no, you didn't. You bought that because you want to make a space helmet with it. And I was like, yes, dear. And of course, she was right. And of course, I never got around to making the helmet because, it just, other things, life stuff, and I just didn't have a need for it. I actually had the first helmet I made laying around here somewhere. I made one big boo-boo on it, though, and that was the guy I talked about using Bondo. What I didn't realize was he was just using Bondo the way we use putty on a model to seal the cracks. I actually used it to shape the helmet because it was a little off in some places. And as a result, the first helmet I weighed had to weigh 5 pounds. But anyway. So, but it's just what I'm getting at is how we modelers think. Where some people see scrap, we see potential. Don't throw that big piece of corrugated cardboard away. That'd make a nice base for a diorama. You know, don't throw away that clear hard plastic. That could be windows or a windshield or a dome and so on and so forth. Don't throw those tubes away. Those are rockets or missile tubes or silos or whatever. And we actually have, as I speak, in the garage. I was going to use it but never got around to it. I actually have, I don't even know what the heck it is. Some kind of packing something. But given the way it's shaped and structure and everything, it kind of looks like the frame of a building that has a lot of glass work. And I spray painted part of it black like burn mark, and I was going to use it in the War of the Worlds inspired diorama, but just never, there wasn't, since it all took place someplace else, it never happened. And I'm saving it because I might use it for some kind of kaiju. Everybody keeps doing a kaiju video like that diorama, so I might save it for that. But again, some people see scrap and I say, wait a minute, you know, that has potential. And I guess it's our creative and artistic eye. But, you know, a few model railroad accoutrements like the grass and stuff, you know, like model railroad grass and a little epoxy and a little cardboard, and anything can become just about anything, you know, on a diorama. And I see some of these dioramas, we've all seen, I mean, they're in every issue of Scale Model, Fine Scale Modeler, you know, we see these insanely beautifully done dioramas, and I'm generally more along the line of what you might call model railroad quality diorama guy, but that's me. Everybody sets their own standard, and that's cool. But at some point, I should probably work on improving my diorama techniques. I need to get some of those books by Paine Shepard. And a lot of folks have asked for a bio on Paine Shepard in the bio series I did on the artist, and I do have him on the list, but again, just so much time, and I suppose I could get some, finding material on some of these people can be difficult, but then I don't have any of his books, and there might be a bio in there, but most likely I wouldn't find much that isn't already available on the internet. But somebody had mentioned, though, and I didn't know this, that at some point in his life he quit making dioramas. He just said it wasn't fun anymore. And part of me thinks that one of the reasons probably the reason his dioramas were so good, I mean, obviously there's talent and skill and practice, but it's also that he loved what he was doing. And generally speaking, I think if, you know, same with all of the models, you like what you're doing. If you love what you're doing, you're going to probably do it pretty well. But so I'm probably finding myself kind of accidentally getting back in a model rocket world, and the reason I know that is, well, two things. There's a habit pattern that forms when you're starting to move back to a hobby or get involved in one. Last night I was putting stuff in the trash and I found an empty drink, and it had a like, you know, a plastic drink cup. And I was getting ready to throw it away, and I realized that the straw was sticking out, and I grabbed the straw because I realized that would make a good tube for the rocket rail. And that's your you know, this mercury redstone has been my gateway drug for this, for my relapse into rocketry. And as soon as I started picking up straws and picking up toilet paper tubes, I was like, face it, kid, you got a problem. So you got a rocketry problem, kid. That could make a t-shirt. You got a rocketry problem, kid. And then I spent 2 hours last night watching NAR videos and rocket videos and the CATOs, catastrophic takeoffs and everything, failures. And it's never happened to me, but I do know some of these rocket engines you do need to stay away from, because sometimes they just go boom. I mean, you know, they are made in mass production. Every once in a while you're going to get one that wasn't made quite right. So always caution, but that's okay because I don't have too many hobbies as it is. But you notice all of them are model related, you know, scale models, RC models, rockets, and I used to have train set layout, and but I don't have room for a train layout or slot car layout, but I'm in constant contact with people who do. I am not going to have any problem with retirement. In fact, one might say that my day job is interfering with my early retirement. But I'm keenly aware how lucky I am to get to be able to do all this stuff. And anyway, that's about all for this morning, guys. Just thought I would check it. By the way, I did have just one more thing. I did have a thought. I have a bunch of rockets on display, just kit models, and well, one of them's a kit model. The rest are all the pre-made stuff. The Explorer, the white one on the left, is the kit model. It's the Glencoe kit. But I did start thinking, you know, I'll bet that could be modified into a flying rocket because it is scale. And we've all shoved, most of us have shoved a rocket into a plastic model at some time. I did it with an F-111, I did it with an F-104, which, by the way, for the first 10 or 20 feet actually flew straight, and then yeah, you know, I'll bet you that Glencoe kit, I'm not going to convert that one because it's part of my display, but if I happen to come into another one, I might see if I can shove a C65 in there and a recovery system. I bet I could make that work with a little modification. Anybody out there ever done that? There's your question. Have you ever fired a scale model with a rocket engine? Oh, and by the way, thinking about scale models I could shove in there, I had thought about, of course, no one makes this kit, but I had thought about, hey, you could put one in a kaiju model. I mean, if Godzilla can you know, that might be, and you see some of the things people make fly, you put enough thrust behind anything, the question becomes stability. But I was thinking if you could make a Godzilla fly and then have the kick out come out of his mouth, that would kind of be, you know, like, you know, oh, look, he's flying, and now the radiation breath, and boy, I really got to, maybe I have a little too much imagination. Well, guys, lots of stuff to do today. I hope I'll get some modeling done and some work on the computer if the grown-up stuff doesn't get in the way. Again, take care and model on. I'm all out. What the heck?